I love that video. Oh, welcome to Monster Monday. It is, I don't even know the date today.
June 30th.
Oh, June 30th. It is June 30th. Oh, that's right. It's June 30th, and I was thinking ahead because I did make a banner to run tonight. Where is it here? Oh, shit, I didn't finish it.
We were kind of running late.
Yeah, exactly. And then my mom sent me my birthday gift. So she sent me cookies. My birthday is not until September, but my mom decided to send me cookies. That was pretty good.
That was awesome. They looked very good.
Add banner. There we go. Show. There we go. It's Frosty's birthday.
It is.
Happy birthday, Frosty. So I was trying to get this on a scroll. There we go. Add banner. I'm hoping to just get a scroll and be good. Scroll across bottom. There we go. I don't know. Cancel. Save.
Maybe.
There
it is. Yeah, there it is.
Anyhow, we got a lot going on. I gotta get to it. It is the last Monday of June already. I cannot believe that we reached the height of summer, and this is it. Like, the longest days are here right now, and it's going to get, and we're already turning the corner. Like, I feel like we're just getting going, and now we're turning the corner. It's going to get shorter. Like, that's nonsense. I don't like that idea at all. So, it was good. Yeah. And Amy got her own box because I thought maybe these cookies were Amy's, but the box was addressed to me. So, Mom, if you happen to be watching, thanks for the cookies. I'll probably eat them all. If we would have had 5 more minutes until the show, I might have got them. I might have got them all gone because this is not the size bag that she sent. It was much more full. Hey, you can be easy with the comments. You're fat shaming me. So anyhow, the last 2 weeks I was gone. I was on the Iron Butt Rally. So I think everybody heard all about that. So everybody's all good to go and caught up on that. I was done last Monday, and I was gonna get on the show, but they have a social media ban, and I was still holding out hope on Monday that I could get a bike or fix my bike, and have it magically good, because Tuesday at noon I could still make it if I left by Tuesday at noon. But after that, every hour that went by, I knew I was going to have to go a little faster, and they monitor your speed, and they I figured I was going to get disqualified for speeding if I would have had the bike ready by noon, but I thought that was kind of a fun way to go out anyhow. So I was going to just do that. But as it worked out, my transmission was done, and it's done, and they're giving me a new transmission. So I was happy about that. So it was just the shifter fork is all that was wore out. It just wouldn't hold it into 6th gear. So when I put it in 6th gear, at first I thought I ran out of gas. It started just chugging like that. I was like, shit, I got an auxiliary tank and I ran out of gas. I kind of laughed, but I looked down. I'm like, man, I got plenty of gas. And I shifted into 5th, and then it was fine. Got cranking back up, shifted into 6th, same thing. So I was hoping it was a clutch, but found out it was a transmission. And it is what it is. So out I went, and after I was out, the only thing I kicked myself a little bit for is I kind of forgot that, or I did forget, didn't kind of forget, I did forget that I could ride any style bike I wanted to in this event. I spent so many years where I had to ride a Harley Davidson that my brain, and before that, I only rode a Harley Davidson. So it's been a long time for me to think outside. So I could have rode a jet bike, and I could have bought a Suzuki or Honda or Yamaha or anything, a used bike, just to pound 4,500 miles on it. And I thought that would have been kind of a fun story, but I didn't think about that in time. So I was thinking Harleys, and they didn't have anything there at the dealership, and I wasn't trading in for another new one. That was not happening for sure after my beating I took last year. But I did send Amy a picture of a nice new CVO, and I said, we're only one signature away, and I could ride out in the CVO, but she wasn't finding the humor in that at all. So it was all good. And while I was gone on that rally, the geo hunt was just on fire, and it was really hard because some people in the rally, they still were on Facebook and looked at things and paid attention. I did not. I took all social media off my phone, so I never looked at anything. I hardly even kept up with emails or anything during that rally, and I didn't want to have it on my phone because muscle memory. I knew I'd like something or comment, and if you do that, I believe it was 50% of your points you would lose, and I didn't want to do that. So I was kind of taking it easy, so I didn't see anything. But the geo hunt was a big hit. There are only, what did we say, 3 coins left?
Yeah.
3 coins left. The clues for 115 will be out tomorrow, and 79 has been unlocked. There was a little bit of a foobar, so that's unlocked, and if it's still there next week, that will be opened up as well. So those are the only 2 really that are left. 88 was the one that Hopper got when he wasn't supposed to be hunting on day 1, when didn't pay attention didn't pay attention to when it actually started. I had that with me on the rally, and the twist for last week was going to be anybody that can figure out where Riot is, all you have to do is meet him on the road somewhere, and I'll hand you the coin. But then the bike broke down before we had a chance for that twist, and it was going to be really fun because I was in Denver, but I was heading to the West Coast, to California, up to Oregon, and then across to Montana, down into Kansas, over to Missouri, and up into Iowa. So it would have been fun for people to figure out where I was going and what I was after, and and meet me somewhere. So that would be pretty good. But 88 is with me right now, so that's one that may or may not be. But what we're gonna do is end the geo hunt basically next week. Next week it will end, because this went so fast and so well that I'm just astonished. I thought we'd be looking for coins. I thought we'd have to unlock them, anything that was left. We would have to unlock in September, just let people go try to find them before the bash. So I think it's crazy that all these coins have found, and we're so close to what our goal was. And of $40,000, we're at 39 and something, 39,100 or something like that. So, that's pretty awesome that we're able to do that, because this was just an idea that just came about from a couple different things. But the main thing was the Willy Wonka, having a golden ticket. I don't know anything about geo. I know much more about geo caches now than I did a year and a half ago when this was coming into play, or 2 years ago. So now I know much more about it. So it's kind of fun, and it's I'm glad it was a hit. I'm really glad that we raised the money to bring the boys to Minnesota, and just to let them have so much fun. It's going to be really cool. And Mark did find probably half of them. I don't really know for sure. I'm going to get all those totals. I'll get all those totals, who found what, and have that all together. But it was so amazing at unlocking them, raising the money to unlock them, whatever it did, it just worked. If we can raise that kind of money and have fun doing it, I mean, that's what it's all about. So I look forward to next year and trying to do something that's as big a hit, and that's what we try to do is just, try something new. That's not the same old thing. I got so frustrated that over the years where I'd go the same thing every year, same party, same style of everything. And, the stuff is fun to do 1, 2, possibly maybe even 3 times. But other than that, you just get bored with it. Now it's like just going through the motions. So I hope everybody had fun. And if somebody didn't find a coin, if somebody did not find a coin, there's still going to be some options. There's one last 4th of July twist that's coming. And the 4th of July twist will be released at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, because that is the kickoff to a long weekend. So what is Wednesday, the 2nd? So 2nd at 6 p.m. will be the twist that will carry us right through the weekend, right through July 7th, next Monday. And then all the coins should be either found or gone, or, will kind of be done. And then you just got to hang on to them until the bash in September. And hopefully everybody can come to the bash. But if not, you're still going to be eligible for the drawings. It's just not going to be eligible for some things that are only taking place at the bash. So you're going to be way better off to be at the bash than not be at the bash. I'll say that much. And the twist will continue until the very end. So there'll be lots of fun going on, but I'm really looking forward to that. But so that's that. And now we're going to focus on some other things we got going on. The Monster 79 and the week of our bike nights. So we're getting things ordered for the bike nights. We got some things we got to go, but we got the Give Butter set up. Anybody that wants to have a bike night, anybody that is having a bike night, it's going to be really easy. Once you sign up, we'll add you to the Give Butter account. And when you donate, anybody that donates, it's not live right now. It'll hopefully be live tomorrow, but you can, when it's live, when you click donate, you can click on who you want to get credit for it. So like the Wild Ass headquarters, Craig's comment there, the Wild Ass headquarters is having a bike night at the Wild Ass. So if somebody's there donating, you just click on the Team Wild Ass, and it's super simple, but the dollar amount will all be in one place so we can see it climb throughout that day and evening and leading up to it and all the good stuff. So there'll be some prizes for those that raise the most money, and everything from the bike nights is going to pay off Gavin's van. So that's the goal with that, is to raise enough money to pay off that van so we're no longer in debt. Because Dylan pointed that out, that Mile Monsters is in debt now. Now we're a legitimate company. But when you're in debt, when we have loans to pay. Let's see. What was that? I saw one of the moms. Here we go. Are the boys eligible if they were given coins? Are they eligible for what? To win? Yeah, they're definitely, if that's what you're asking about, if they're eligible to win, they're definitely going to be eligible to win. If they were given a coin, he who holds the coin is in the drawing. So that coin is going to be handed to me or whomever. Might be Dylan, might be Misty, might be Mandy, Twister, I don't know. But when you come in, it'll be handed in, and it's going to be, everything's recorded who has the coins anyhow. But at the time, we'll know who has which coins. You hand them, they're going to go into a thing, and we're going to have the boys draw them out one at a time. And then some fun stuff's going to take place when they draw the coins one at a time. So if you're there, it's just going to be a little bit different than if you're not there. If you're not there, then your coins will go onto a wheel, and it'll just be a little bit different, but you're still eligible for prizes and everything. So you're going to win anything from a Crisp Pie 5 to, suspensions and all the things that we're sponsored with, things like that. I got a whole bunch of stuff I've been collecting, and we're going to crank that up to about, so we get some more things. So there's some awesome Chanel stuff. I got a connection at Chanel, and Somebody donated some stuff, so
Nice.
it's going to be awesome. So there's a lot of stuff, and yes, you do get to keep the coins. These coins
Nice.
are yours when we put them in a thing and they're drawn. You're going to come up and get your coin handed right back to you when we draw them, and that's going to have a lot to do with the prizes and things like that. That's all I can really say about that, but you'll get the coins and you'll have it. So that's going to be pretty awesome. And the coins, there's the bonus coins. That there's a few of these bonus coins were the same as your coins if you bought the hunter coin, but some of those we use as bonus coins. So we're going to have a few of those in there as well. And that's that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's just for fun. That's all it is for the hunters, the riders, monsters, just to have fun. And it's going to make the bash a very good time, very entertaining. There's going to be lots of laughs and things like that that's going to come along with it. So that's going to be great. That's what we got coming up. There'll be a lot more details about that coming up as we go, but we're going to focus now, wrap up the Geo Hunt, and we're going to focus on the Monster 79. I'll be talking about that like crazy on next Monday. All of the details. We're going to update the website so everybody can just go. There's still spots available if you want to sign up to ride on Monster 79. And if there's a week you can ride and there's not a spot available and you tell me, hey, Ryan, I really want to fundraise. I really want to get out and ride, but I got a bitch of a schedule and my boss a dick and I have to, I can only do it on this week. Then by all means, let me know, man. I will do something to make that work. I mean, I'll add a spot. I'll do whatever it takes. We're not looking. We just set that up as a kind of a guideline. Have 13 people on a team, 9 weeks for 7 heroes. So that's how things came about, and it worked out. That landed us at the bash. So, but if it doesn't work for somebody, by all means, hit me up. I'll make it work. We'll have a team with 14 or something like that. We don't want to tell somebody they can't do it. Like the goal is we're trying to pay off a van. Yeah, we're trying to pay off a van and pay off and get a head start on some things for next year and help the kids with some trips they got planned yet coming up for the rest of this year. And so it's gonna be a lot of fun. See what else I got for that. That's it for that. What are the girls at? What are the crazy ladies at?
You're on day 181.
181. Yeah, that's just crazy to me. I can't believe that
180
days has gone by. And Rolo was, obviously riding every day and riding in the rally. And she did a hell of a job. I mean, I know you guys had talked about it last week, but she did a hell of a job. Like, her riding was incredible. She put a ton of miles on. She placed in the top 20. I don't remember if it was 15. I don't get too worked up about that, but she was in the top 20. I know that. And she was really, really an exceptional rider. And it's no joke. There were 100 people that signed up for that IBR that started. And I guess 181. Amy's talking about the other thing. But that they had 100 people, 101, whatever it was. And like 51 had finished is all. So that's roughly half, and some people are like, I can't believe that half the people didn't make it. I like that myself. I like that it's legit. Like, if they have checkpoints and if you're late to a checkpoint, you are out. Like, there's no, oh man, I'm only a minute late. That's too bad. A minute is a minute. And it costs money to get into that. And they don't care. Like, you didn't make it. And that's too bad. And Teeter was another one of the monsters that was in there. Chauncey Rambler, he was another one that was in there. The Monster Riders. Dell has done a bunch of rides for the Monsters. She kicked ass. She was in the top 10. Nicole that won it. She is just a beast of a rider. If anybody saw my post about it, you'll see, like, she is 5 foot nothing, and I can literally throw her across the room. She is just a tiny little thing, and she's a beast of a rider. So everybody has these stereotypes that, oh, that's a girl, they can't ride, or whatever the case is, and they're just not true. And anybody who rides a lot and gets out there and sees these things, they understand the fact that guy, girl, it makes zero difference. When I ride, I have people that ride with me all the time. You can either keep up or you can't, but it makes no difference that, the same number, same percentage of people bail on riding with me if it's guys or girls. And the good ones can ride and can keep up no matter what kind of craziness I attempt to do. But my point is, man, if you've ever thought that girls can't compete in the things, they have to do with the motorcycle, despite their crazy disadvantages, they continue to kick ass. And when I say they're crazy disadvantages, going to the bathroom when you're competing in long distance motorcycle rallies, any kind of long distance riding, going to the bathroom is a massive disadvantage to a girl. Like, I swear to God, they should get a day head start on anything just to even things out.
Sucks.
Like going to a bathroom. Like, it's just, I don't have to go into detail, but anybody that understands the gear you wear and what you do and how they have to go to the bathroom. Like, I can just stop if I even have to go to the bathroom and I'm not using something to cheat on that end. I can stop, piss right next to my motorcycle. Nobody knows and nobody cares. It's not so easy for a girl. So when Shell competed in the Hoka Hey, I said, man, if you had been a guy, you would have won it or been right there. And not because the riding was a guy riding better. They just don't have to stop to go to the bathroom like that and take that kind of time. So they really spend time, they do it, but they're just amazing. So those girls did an incredible job. Everybody that finished that thing, my hat's off to. My hat's off to you. So that's, yeah, you have to, but it's still a process. All the crap you got to take down, like they just put a zipper for a guy, just zipper goes down. That's it. Girls got to like get through things and get climb gear off. And I don't know, what a mess. I think I would just go to the bath of my pants and get a garden hose every night and call it a day. I don't know that I'd be able to do it. But congratulations, Rollo, on continuing with your crazy ladies while you're doing such a massive event. And when it ended, a lot of people, when you're done with an 11-day ride, you don't want to ride. Like, whenever I'm done with the event, man, my motorcycle gets parked. I think the hardest thing would be to ride every day after that. Mm-hmm. So she's
and they have to.
Yep, she's straight on beast mode. All right, so next thing is Hopper's ride. Hopper is on, what did we say, day 27?
7.
I think today is day 27. He started on the 4th. I think it's day 27. So he's getting rolling. He's out sightseeing and playing around, and I don't think he's banging out 1,000 miles a day. So, at some point he'll have to crank that up a little bit. But in the meantime, he just keeps plugging away. I've been so busy with things I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I was trying to talk to him today, and had some crap going on here at the house. So it was a bit of a zoo. But a bunch of people have asked us about, they want to donate to Hopper's gas and that kind of thing, the actual cost of doing the ride. So all the money that's being donated to the cause, like through the Give Butter, is just going towards Gavin's van and that kind of thing. But we wanted to come up with a way that people could donate. And there is, I don't know if he wanted me to use his name, so I'm not gonna, but there is somebody right now that has already donated just to cover the gas for him to start out the ride. So that was pretty cool. But if anybody is interested in strictly helping with the gas, this we came up with, and it's a gas card. So you can buy a gas card and you're going to fill his tank up and you get a cool little souvenir. So I'm just going to pop these onto the screen because we have 3 of them. So it's 3 different gas cards, and then the 4th one is just the back of the card. The back of the cards are all the same, but the cards are a little different color. So there's the gas cards. We have a $25 gas card, a $50 gas card, and a $100 gas card. And they are coins. That is not a card. They are metal coins, just like the coins. And I believe they are, I measured them because I knew I was going to get asked, and I can't remember what they were.
2.5 by, I remember that.
Yeah, 2.5 by
1
roughly.
3/4.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's not 1 3/4. Sorry, it's like 1 3/8. My bad.
Okay.
So, like 1.5. It's basically 1.5 by the 2.5. So they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool, and I think it's a fun souvenir for people. As you see, they just say, that guy, that guy rides 101K plus helping heroes. And then on the back, there's this little thank you, for supporting the rider. So that's the coins we got. They will be on the website tomorrow. So they'll be all good to go. I was just finishing up some pictures, and then I'll get them loaded up tomorrow and be all set. And then there's a stalker coin. This is for anybody who stocks Hopper. I'll be mailing these to Hopper himself, and he'll be giving you a coin if you show up and meet him on the road. These are the stalker coins. So if you stalk him and go meet up, or if you have already, we'll get you a coin. So I know a few people have met up with him already. But that's that. So those are the coins we had in the works, and they got here. I don't know. They were here when I got home, but they probably got here the day I left, because that's how it always works. As soon as you leave, they'll show up. But I don't know. This is like, if you get a comparison, this is the, I don't know if that's the best one to see, that my hand is background, but you kind of see the size,
That's cool.
just fit in the palm of your hand like that. So I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. I think they're really cool. And well, that's all I got for that. So anything else I'm missing?
Got to bring up the bash. The bash is in 75 days.
75 days. That's just crazy. We're going to be crazy focused on the Monster 79 and the bash coming up like crazy now. So I'm going to have, so if everybody can start sharing that flyer around too for the bash, because some people are like, oh, I didn't know you could sign up ahead of time, because we just have we want people to sign up ahead of time. You pay $20, I think, because they won't let us do any of that stuff for free on the website. You can't just sign up. But anyhow, it's $20, and that we just really want that, so we get a head count, so we know how much food and beer and that kind of fun stuff to have. I know people are going to show up, that weren't on there. We don't want people to think, well, don't show up if you didn't sign up. But we just want to have a ballpark. I want to know if we're dealing with 7 people or 700. Kind of have it. Yeah, and Denver, that's right, is the Monsters Over Mountains. I knew I was forgetting something. When you have that in your head, like I just know I'm forgetting something, and I'm like, I look at my calendar, but I'm all messed up with my calendar because I haven't moved it to the right month. So Monsters Over Mountains is the weekend after the 4th of July. So that is the 10th and 11th and 12th that weekend. So if anybody's heading west out there, they got a great route planned. So again, and if anybody is not familiar with that,
what's next?
That part of the country, that's the next weekend is the weekend after the 4th is the Monsters Over Mountains. But if anybody has not ridden the Pacific Northwest, it is stunning and absolutely gorgeous. You can't even put the words to it, as awesome as it actually is, and pictures don't do it any justice at all. Frankie Mountains takes awesome pictures. He takes really cool pictures of riding and everything, and his pictures look so cool, and they are 10% of the cool that you actually see when you're riding some of those places. So if you have a free weekend and you want to go see some country and help raise some money for these boys, I highly recommend getting out west and cranking out some miles. And that's the thing, they do epic miles while they're doing this, seeing this beautiful country too. So that's pretty awesome. All right, what else I got? Anything else I forget?
I don't think so.
Oh, she canceled the Alaska ride. And Raindrop, I was really counting on you to get the Dead Horse coin. So the dead horse coin.
Yeah.
That's the one that's been no secret. It's number 58. In the book, it's clear where it is. I'm not giving away any secrets, anything like that. But that's an awesome coin, and I don't want that coin to not be found. So I don't know. My Monster 79 week might have me headed north a few miles. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I promised myself I wouldn't ride that Dalton Highway ever again on a Harley. So I don't know if I'm gonna break a promise within the year of doing it. And I said I would never go back in August. And of course, my week to ride in the M79 is the week of Sturgis. So I'll be riding out there too. Yeah, I'd like to take your little Honda up there. That'd be awesome. Ride your little Honda on the Dalton. So is it 8:32? It's 8:31. I have one more minute. And I promised the wife I'd be done at 8:32.
You did, didn't you? And I still got hero news.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And speaking of the hero news, I was only kidding about that anyhow, because you'd know the inside.
Not really, though.
Yeah. With the heroes, I did want to touch on that a little bit. I've talked with Drew and Jack, and both those boys are at an age where they're going through a lot in life, as all as all kids at that age, go through things. They're no different. And yeah. Drew is, becoming a little more self-conscious, and he just doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He has been in the spotlight since the day he was diagnosed with DMD, and he does not want to be in the spotlight. It's not his jam. It's not his style. And he kind of forced himself. I don't know if that's the right word, but he did it. And at times he did it very great and was always out and about and, really active. But as he's getting older, he doesn't want to do it. And I told Steve, I said, that's crazy. Like, our goal here is to help them live their best life. That's our only mission. It's so simple. It's, I laugh when I tell people because it's just so simple, but it's so complicated to do. It's such a simple statement and so hard to do. But if Drew wants to be private and not be in the open, and that's having him live his best life, then I'm all about that. So you won't hear a lot of news about Drew. I'm going to keep you filled in maybe every other month or something. If something comes up, then I'm definitely going to do it. And, if somebody wants to keep sending him things, by all means, that's fine and dandy. But we're going to be there for him. He's going to be our hero. And that's that, But if that's what he wants, that's what we want to give him. And Jack is such a giving kid. Jack's issue was he didn't want to take a hero spot and take away from somebody else. And, he's just, his brain works in a different way. And he's very reserved and wants to keep to himself a little bit as well. So he's going to take a step back. He's still our hero. We're still going to show him love and that kind of thing. But he wants to be not in the spotlight. And I think part of this, DMD is a bitch. It really is. And it is a muscle wasting disease. And you can fight, you can do everything you can, but that damn disease is always, always chiseling away at the boy's muscles. And until they come up with a cure, all the treatments they seek is to slow that down. But it's still happening. Until there's a cure, it just continues on. So as they get life-changing events, they have to adjust to that, both physically and mentally. And everybody adjusts to those things a little bit different. Everybody has a different way of dealing with that, as all of us do with our personal lives. You have things that come up in your life that some people are like, yeah, that happens. And other people are devastated and they're locked in their room for 6 months as they fight deep depression. So everybody's different and everybody has their own way. no way of dealing with DMD is wrong. So there's no wrong way to deal with it. There's just different ways to deal with it. And right now, some of the boys have a different way of dealing with it than what we're used to. And that doesn't make it wrong or bad or anything. They're just going to deal with their journey is going to be dealt with a little bit different. And for us, we're just take a step back from putting them in the spotlight. That's really all it is. And I don't want anybody to read into it for something it's not. I just want to tell people what it is and how that is and why it is. It's just as simple as that, because yeah, and I knew everybody would understand, like the parents struggle with how to communicate that. And I said, I'll tell people, and people will understand. There's nobody that's like, oh, this is bullshit, we can't see the kid every week. Like nobody does that. What the Mile Monsters offers is access to these kids. You see what they're getting, and that's not going to change at all. Even when we help Drew and Jack, if they want to be quiet, they want to be shy, we're going to still help them with what they need, and I'll still show pictures of it. I'll still go and visit them, that kind of thing. We're just not going to hold them front and center. That's it. So it's pretty simple. So, and what we do is awesome. We have such a massive team of people that makes these kids' lives. I can't even imagine where it'd be without the monsters in the lives of these kids, and I can't imagine where life would be without the heroes in it. So, it's a two-way street with monsters and heroes, and it works. So, it's just awesome. So everybody, we're gonna have the boys up in Minnesota. Everybody's gonna get to hang out with them, see them. So it's gonna be a great time. And just like always, you'll have your moment where you can get autographs and paparazzi them and be good to go. So. That's all I got for that. So I had a great time. The other thing I had with the other hero before I let you get on with your news is Turbo. I haven't got a chance to talk to anybody about it because I had to start that rally and I couldn't be on. But I know you talked about it. But I will say something that was because of Monsters and Monsters Connections that made that happen. That wasn't a Mile Monster thing. I didn't reach out to the Kansas City Chiefs. A Monster did that because he played football. Big Daddy played football for Andy Reid when he was in college, when Andy Reid's career was just getting started. And they've remained in contact all these years later. And he reached out to him and got that taken care of it. And I talked to Turbo after it, after it was all over, after he was home and I was done with this rally. And it was just something else, something he can't really put into words. And it came up really fast. And that is why the fundraising and things are just so important, because something comes up like that. How can you turn that down? How can you say no? Like whatever it costs, we're getting the family on a plane. We're getting them to a city, we're renting the cars, getting the hotels, doing whatever it takes to make that happen, because that is truly a once in a lifetime. And I told Turbo that when it happened, I said, man, just enjoy this moment because it is truly a once in a lifetime. You will never get this opportunity again, nor will I. So he really capitalized on it. Like we had him at the media thing where the coaches stand and do the talk, and he was, hee-hawing around about it. I said, dude, this is your one shot. You're never going to get to be at the microphone again. So the Kansas City Chiefs, they're my new team. I could care less. Incredible. I could care less about wins and losses. What I want to see is wins in our boys' lives, and that was a win for Turbo, and that's the wins I care about. So it was awesome, and they were so welcoming and so fun. Like they were just incredible how much time they took and the things they gave them and signed, and no question about anything. They were just super cool, calling him by name. The whole team came out of the huddle and they knew his name, so they had definitely been told by the coach or whomever, and the entire team came over to talk to Turbo. And some of those guys, you'd think of a pro athlete like he's a pro athlete, he's gonna have a big head. There was a bunch of young dudes on that team. I don't have any idea who they are, and they were just young kids. They reminded me of my own kid. They were that age, 20s, I suppose they're just out of college. They're pro athletes, but they were young, by my old fart and brain. They look like kids, but they were excited that we were there. They came over and asked me for things. Hey, can I get one of those coins? Because I was giving away anybody that wanted them, all kinds of monster stuff. So, and they came around the group, and a couple of the D-backs were like, hey, man, what is that? I told them our coins, with the heroes' names on there and everything. And he said, oh, that's really cool. Can I get one of those? And so, they were just down to earth. And when I was talking to them, it wasn't like talking to a pro athlete. It was like talking to my kid, that was like equally excited that we were there as we were for him. And all the kids that came up to Turbo and, were like talking to him, how cool he was. It was just pretty awesome. So that was great. So I can go in with your news. So I just had to chime in on that. It's been a couple weeks now, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it. So it was a lot of fun, and it really makes what we do so worthwhile when you get to see the look on Turbo's face when a team calls him by his name. And, Patrick Mahomes, a generational, talent, is talking to him like, you and I are talking. So it was pretty epic. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty incredible.
Yep. So, all right, now you can have your news. I hope I didn't rain on all the news.
You didn't rain on all the news. No.
Okay, good.
Thank you for that. I'll jump to Alfie. Alfie had tests all last week for the doctor, and they all went well. Friday, he went to a disco with his friends. I love that they call it a disco. I just think of it different than like the dance that we had in high school. But
I think disco like in 70s, like
that's
like the disco ball, and half the people have roller skates, and and everybody's on something. So
yeah. Yesterday he was at the Gaelic football, and his team got knocked out of the competition, but he took it like a grown-up. Mom said, and said,
well,
I guess the best team won. He didn't freak.
Yeah, but taking it like a grown-up. They're taken by Irish standards. I've seen their grown-ups react to a loss.
He didn't cry, but
you want to see the record number of F words said in under a minute?
That's what it was.
Have a football team. So his mom's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of him. He took it like an adult."
Yeah, he didn't cry. He
he only threw things at the TV and swore 7,000 times. He's so grown up now. What? That's my boy.
That's our Alfie.
Yep, that's pretty funny. So I don't know. I'd like to find out exactly what happened, because I don't think.
Well, I didn't get the clarification on that. I just took it the way I should have, but that was dumb of me, I guess. They're hoping to take him to be part of a clinical trial in Scotland in July, and it has to do with food and stuff for boys with DMD. So that should be kind of interesting. I
hope that works.
I do too.
I hope he gets it, and I hope that when they get in those clinical trials, they get that he's one of the kids that gets the, whenever they have those clinical trials, that somebody doesn't get it and somebody does. Yeah. And I hope that he gets everything and it works.
Me too. And apparently at that same time, his team will be playing there at the same time. So he's hoping that they can try to make that all work, that he can go to that. Plus, purely coincidental.
Yeah.
And that he can meet up with that and make it all work. But he also has private appointments coming up, Newcastle, like a month later. So they're just trying to make it all work. So.
Yeah. I can't even keep it straight. Like when they talk about their football teams.
I can't either. I tried to ask him, and
yeah, well, they have different seasons. Like one, my Newcastle team, they lost or they won, whatever. They won the championship. 2 weeks later, he's got another team playing in some other thing. So it's like I'm so used to our sports where you're a Vikings fan, and then the Vikings are out of it the first round of the playoffs, and then you're done for the year.
Well, and this, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this Gaelic football,
yeah,
is different than regular soccer too.
I think Gaelic football that's with more like a football. I think
might be.
It's like almost like more like a rugby.
Okay,
sure.
I think
But-
it's. They told me it was like a rougher sport, as what.
Yeah, I like that. If I'm gonna watch that, I like more violence, the better.
Yeah,
You know, those guys are just beasts too.
they are.
I have a Gaelic football. You can't see it, but it's behind my
Oh,
curtain.
do you? Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of think that's what it is. A friend of mine played.
Nice. Okay, Mr. Gavin, he's in Mexico soaking up the sun, tropical drinks, and food. He comes home Wednesday. So he's been having a pretty good time with that. Last week, he saw an eye specialist, and they went to order an MRI for his eyes. And Jessica wants a second opinion on that. So she's going to have a pediatric eye specialist, to get a second opinion for this MRI.
Yeah, there's so many things. Damn, they just can't catch a break.
That's all kinds of stuff with them. And then they're going to be home Wednesday, and they're going to prepare for Dad's birthday on the 4th of July.
Another 4th of July. I forgot about that. Craig's birthday is on the 4th of July. Amy's birthday is on the 3rd. Somebody else was the 4th too. America.
Well,
yeah, and the Manny, he's Mexican, so at least he gets to share it with America, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So we'll sing happy birthday to them all on the 4th.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yep, we're hanging out at home for Amy's birthday, so I'm looking forward to that. The one day a year I don't ride my motorcycle, so that'd be fun.
Yep, definitely won't be riding that day, will you?
Nope, not riding that day.
Brody, I was trying to watch the Facebook. He had an appointment in Kansas City, for his big appointments. And I know Mom was, I think, a little worried about these appointments. He's had some declining. So she was going to update us when they heard more on the appointments. And so prayers to that.
I tell you what, how nerve-wracking too, going to those things. Like, I don't even want to go to get a physical if I'm worried about they're going to find something, Yep. So I can't believe that. It's so crazy.
It is. And Mr. Toons or Jackson, after surgery update, he will be allowed to swim Wednesday, which will be great because that's just before the 4th. And they're going to go back to Frog Pond where they have the slides and the water park. So I think
that sounds super fun.
For someone his age, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
She'll be posting shortly. So
awesome. Well, my fingers are crossed that it was all good.
Yep.
And gets the clean bill.
Yes.
Oh, I know what else I got too. Oh, sorry. Wait till you're done.
No, I'm done. That's what I got. You go.
My mail came and I got my cover.
Oh.
So Scott Townsend had that as a raffle, and I won. So
of course you did.
I can't say that I didn't want to win because I really did want to win this. So there's somebody that I live with that donated a bunch of money so I could have a good shot at winning. Not sure. She may not. Yeah, she may not know it yet, but thanks.
Happy birthday, Amy.
Yeah, so now my motorcycle is. I was trying to decide though if I'm going to put this on Pearl or Miami. I'm not sure because I don't know. I got to decide. I think I'm thinking about Pearl because Pearl's here, and that's how I work. I'm like, ooh, got this shiny little thing. I want to put it on my bike right now. So I'm like, I want to put it on. I can't put it on my other one, so that's that. So that was really cool though. And I also got the bell, the gremlin bell. What do I do with it?
Oh, that.
Yes, he gave me this with it, and look how cool that is.
Oh, I want that. That's awesome.
Can you see that? It's got the
right
logo
there
on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how cool is that?
That's really cool.
I saw it had a bell. He had a bell in here, and of course, I have a bunch of bells, and I just keep adding them to my motorcycle when somebody gives them to me. But I didn't slide it out of the case right away. I just had it moved on my desk, and then I'm like, well, I want to see what kind of bell that is. So I slid that out, and I'm like, hey.
Maybe you should raffle that off.
What?
Yeah, Selena wants it. I want it.
Should I raffle it? Should I raffle my bell off because I bet you I can get.
Maybe
get
he
me
should
another one.
sell them. Maybe he should sell those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
see, now all the ladies want the bell. Yeah, we
All
want
right.
the bell. Maybe he's got something going there.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to him because that's
See
the
if he
thing,
wants to
though.
sell them.
You can't. The thing about the bells, though, you can't buy one for
That's
yourself.
true. You can't.
There'll be bad luck. So you could
No
buy
one can
one.
buy me one.
Maybe that will be a thing. I'll talk to him where he had these made, and maybe that'll be a thing. We can put them on the website and you can just buy them for other monsters
There you
because
go.
you have to.
I'll buy one for Jeannie or Selena, and we can all switch.
Exactly. You can switch. You just can't buy. You just
can't
can't
buy
buy
your own.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there
like
you go.
you just got to remember that. So, but that'd be fun. If everybody buys one, you can just go to give it away, and somebody say, "I already have one." Okay, then you give it to somebody else.
Selena
know?
just says, "Give it to me, Riot."
Well,
Oh,
come
that's
over, Selena. If you come over this weekend, I'll give it to you. So come stop by my house this weekend. I'm going to barbecue on the 3rd if you're interested. So that's that.
the great
All right.
bell stop. Yeah.
I think that's all I have. That's all I got. If there's anything else I forgot, so
Oh, you poor thing, goat.
what's that?
I'm late because I had to eat seafood at the beach.
Yeah, if you're looking for any sympathy, go like it's not happening. I know you don't have to go to bed, and now you're late because you're having seafood at the beach
and tropical drinks.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They sent me a picture of him in the pool, and
yep, there you go. Yeah, we're gonna have a bell swap at the bash. I like that idea. So I'll talk to Scott. I think that's a great thing to have on the website. So I'll find out where they have those. And yes, I'm looking forward to a great birthday weekend. My wife's birthday is so much fun all the time because her birthday's on the 3rd, and everybody has
we
the next.
talked about that. Yeah,
everybody has the next day off. For the last 30 some years, we have already had. We've already had it. So yeah, Scott, that'll be awesome for the bells. I'll get in touch with you because I'd like to have those on the website. That'll be a great fundraiser, and it'll be a lot of fun to have people
fighting over.
Yeah, giving them away to people, and it'll be fun because if you're gifted one, then you have to buy one and gift it to somebody else. So that'll be nice, and that'll be a nice way to get them. They're good for cars and motorcycles. So even if you got to put it on your car, you just have to get educated on how you put them, where you put them, and that's all. So That's awesome. The only thing else, I just want to touch on one thing. I don't have a picture of it. I just have to show it to you. But Teeter gave me a coin that I love when people go out of the box and think of things that are so cool. And part of me is like super excited that something's so cool. And the other part of me is like, damn, why don't I think of that cool shit? It's like when somebody invents something and you're like, what was I thinking? Like Velcro. Yeah. But if you can see this coin.
Yep.
Can you see that okay there? That is a coin he gave me for supporting him during his 100K year. So it is just a very well done coin, a little thank you note in the back. I won't put it there because I know you can't read it, but it says helping kids live their best life. And then has 100K on it on the front, but the back of it says, thank you for being a part of my epic 100K mile journey while spreading DMD awareness. Your words of encouragement, advice, and memories shared will never be forgotten. Together, we can do epic things. Teeter, Mega Monster number 16, milemonsters.com. But it's really cool. And then in the corner of the coin, on both sides, there's 8 corners on the 2 sides. The 7 kids' numbers are on each corner, and then the coin itself is numbered right there for the 8th corner. And I think that is so, so cool. So if anybody that supported me during my 100K year, I just give you a crisp high five, but you're not going to get a cool coin like this. Except I do know the guy that makes these coins, so I could call him and be like, can you just swap that epic that number out to the Mega Monster numbers, make it say Riot and change the number. But I'll kidding aside, Teeter, this is really a cool coin, and it meant a lot to get it from you. And we shared so many miles during the 100K year that he gets it. What the feelings were more than anyone else, because we just shared miles at the beginning, the middle, and the end, and it was, super fun and then super awful all rolled into one. So it was really cool. So I cherish this coin. This will be one of my coins that I will forever cherish. This for sure. Keep it. It'll be a special place. So that's really awesome. All right, that's all I got.
That's awesome.
You got anything else?
I do not.
No? You want to tell us about anything in your life going on? Got any big news for us? Anything?
Big news.
No?
No.
Dylan, thumbs up. Dylan, you gonna go for a ride and go after that after some coins?
We might.
Yeah, I hope so. Yes. Thumbs up.
Off. Thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're both off, you could just ride east until you hit an ocean, then take a right and you'll be at my place.
What?
Contractors banking the car.
He's telling me about all these other things he has to do, but
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have fun.
All right. Well, have fun. If you work your way to my house, so I'll be home.
Sounds good.
Come on over.
Perfect.
All right. To everybody else, I thank you. I appreciate everything. I'm glad to be back. I have a pretty chill July. For the most part, chill by my standards. I'm only going out of town twice. So that's pretty good. And then August, I will not be home at all from August, or actually the end of July until the bash. I won't be home more than, I think, a couple nights in a row at a couple different times. So it's going to be pretty busy, but there's lots more coming up that we got. So stay tuned. And I thank you for the support and spreading all we're doing. Cheers.
Happy 4th.
Yeah, enjoy your 4th.